greatness in you. Pain is necessary. Change is inevitable. Success is who you are, not what you obtain.
What's up, everybody? This your boy Mike Mariner, aka the Shift Motivator. Hey man, I got something I want to share with you guys today. Everybody's talking about living their best life, but you cannot live your best life without the best mindset. All right, we're talking about thinking different, being different, and living different. In order to live different, you got to first be different, and in order to be different, you got to first think different. All right, and so when I think of the word mindset, I like to compare that to a computer system, actually. And when you look at the computer system, it has something what you call hardware, right? And so that hardware is the thing that retrieves and restores information. So your brain, your mindset, right? It receives and retrieves and it restores information. And then you got the computer that has software, right? So that software is the computer program that actually gives the computer its language, right? So that way, if my mind is considered like a computer and my hardware retrieves and receives information and the software is the language that the hardware receives and it feeds off of, then what are you putting in your mindset, guys? You cannot live your best life without the greatest mindset. You have to have a mindset to endure hardships. You have to have a mindset to endure adversity. But at the same time, you have to have the mindset to put the plan and the people and places together that's going to get you the way you want to be. So we're talking about thinking different, guys. So you got to think differently than your peers. If you want to live better than your peers, if you want to live a life better than the life of your peers, then guess what? You got to first think differently than your peers. If you want to go to somewhere where you have never been, then guess what? You got to think crazy out of the box stuff. It's not crazy that you think the way you think. Listen, I want to encourage you today. I want to encourage that person that thinks that they're weird. I want to encourage that person that thinks that they don't mean anything to anybody because of the way that they think. They think crazy thoughts. Listen, they said Einstein was crazy, but look what happened to him. And I just want to encourage you today to embrace the mindset, to embrace the shift that everybody else haven't embraced. So you have to be mindful of the software, the information, because what you put in is what's going to come out. So the software that you're putting in your mind, guess what? It has to be in alignment with where you're going. So you have to put yourself in an environment that's going to feed your mind positivity. So if your software is negative, guys, guess what's going to come out? Negativity. If your software is positive, guys, guess what's going to come out? Positivity. If your software is embracing laziness, guess what's going to come forth? A spirit of laziness. So everything that you want to do, you have to think it first, but you got to make sure that your hardware is in alignment and your software is in alignment. Then you can go to the next step, guys, and that's be different. That's your action. That's your activity. You can't say you want to be an NBA player, but you're not even playing basketball. That's way out of the line, guys. Hey, you out of pocket with that one. So, hey, your activity, it has to be in alignment with where you're going. So if you want to be different, guys, it's going to require an action. It's a verb. It's an action word. You have to be different. You have to live different. It's also an action word. So you have to act out the very thing that you want to see, that you want to do. You can't say just, I'm going to think about it. You just can't leave it in the period of your mind. You got to put the pen to the paper, and then you got to put the action to the grind. You got to put the pen to the paper, then you got to put the action to the grind. So guess what? It may require you to get up early, and it may require you to get into bed late. But guess what? That is a part of being success. So if you want to be different, you got to do the things that different people do. What are those things? I don't know. What do you want to do? I can't tell you that. You have to ask yourself that. You have to ask yourself the right question. It's just like, God, if I was going to go on a trip and I wanted to go to Atlanta, right? And I've never been to Atlanta, what do I have to do? I have to first make a decision where I want to go. And so if I decide that I want to go to Atlanta, then I got to guess what? I got to get a map that's going to take me to Atlanta, and I got to follow the road. So what I'm telling you, I cannot tell you that. You have to discern what do you want to do with your life on your own. And then once you discern that, guys, then guess what? You have to get the map. You have to get the blueprint in order to be different, in order to get to that place of different living. So guess what? I can't tell you that. You have to do it for yourself. So sit down with yourself, put a pen to the paper, and decide what do you want to do with your life. What do you want to do with your life? And so when you find out what you want to do with your life, then you just get the map and you follow what the map. Don't deviate from the map. Don't reinvent the wheel. So if the map says go right or go left, then you go right and you go left, and you just have to do what you got to do till you get where you want to go. Then guess what? That comes to you living your best life, living a life of purpose. Money is not purpose. Fame is not purpose. Fortune is not purpose. You can have all that stuff. Listen, I know people that got all kinds of money. I know that people got all kinds of cars and nice houses, and they're miserable. They're miserable because they're not living a life of purpose. When you begin to live a life of purpose, then that's when life begins to matter. Listen, I want to speak to the one that's talking about committing suicide right now because you're not happy with your life. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to the one that's not happy with their job because you feel like it's a dead end. I want to talk to you. If it's a dead end, then you got to shift it. You got to change it. Guess what? Thinking different and being different is part of that requirement. So you got to think yourself out of that situation. You got to be yourself out of that situation. When I say be yourself, I'm talking about be you. The authentic you that hates the you that are sticking to a job that you don't want to be at. Woo! Gotta say that again. The authentic you that is disgruntled about the you that are deciding to stay at a job that you don't want to be at. So guess what? You gotta figure out where it is, what it is you want to do, figure out the purpose, figure out your why, and then you begin to build a plan upon that, and then you can live your best life. Until then, you'll never live your best life because guess what? You're living somebody else's life. Yeah, it's you, but you're living somebody else's life because that's not the life intended for you to live. So therefore, you're living somebody else's life. So if we're going to live a life of success, then you got to live the life that you were purposed for and not what you're sacrificing the life that you want to live a life just to get by at this present moment. So this is your boy, Mike Mariner, a.k.a. the Shift Motivator, saying that you can live your best life, but you got to think different and be different in order to live different. Holla at your boy.